Hi, everyone. I am here with Dixie Andelin Forsyth and possibly to be joined soon by Dr. Forsyth, her husband. And one of the questions or comments that came in earlier in the week is how or what is the best way to prioritize your life? Because a lot of us are working now. A lot of us want to live the fascinating womanhood principles. And it's so confusing. It's so hard because we have a foot in each different life. So what would you say to that person and how to prioritize their day and their in their mind, how to organize what's really important?
There's some things that you have to do. Like if you have a job outside the home, there's some things that have, times you have to be there. But I think if your husband should always be number one for you, but it's more like in your heart. When you're go back to when you're dating and when you're first engaged, and even though you have to do other things, they're always number one in your heart. And so even though, like, Bob will have to go here in just a little bit, he's going to go and do some things. I know that just because he's going to the hospital doesn't mean that I'm not number one. And so when you talk about organizing what to do, your husband is the one who will be with you long after your kids are grown, like ours are grown. True. And making him number one. That doesn't mean that if your child has a dental appointment, you go to the movies with your husband and forget the appointment, because those things happen. But he will know and always know if he's number one for you. And and when you can drop things, you do. And that's one of the ways you show it, is when you're able to, you do it.
Thank you.
He says, like for us, our kids are grown. So if Bob says to me, do you want to come to the post office with me to mail something? If there's any way I can, I do it, even if I just do it to spend time with him. And just even little things like that. When you have little kids, when we had 7, I couldn't do that. For years, I couldn't do that.
I got to say, you always made me number one, even before we were married.
Aww.
It's amazing. We were dating, and I asked her if she wanted to go. I can't remember where we were going.
You're going to tell this story. Okay.
Well,
okay, go ahead.
Why not?
Yeah,
well, it's long enough ago that you'll probably forgive her. Anyway, she said, I said, let's go do such. I didn't know she had a final, and it happened to be in psychology.
I love this story.
She said, yes, let's go. And so we took off. Now, her mother...
Why did it have to be psychology? Why couldn't it have been some other subject?
Well, your mother really got upset with you.
She says, you put all your eggs in one basket. And I said, yeah, but I won.
Yeah, you picked the right basket.
But it was I did. I always put him.
She always made me feel like number one, even when we were dating. And I think that's probably why, even though I dated quite a lot, when I met her and spent time with her and was around her on a regular basis, and I remember the first time I held her hand, and I thought, I'm home.
Oh.
And I have never lost.
That's sweet.
So really this, how you organize things, women are pretty smart. I mean, there's things you must do. You must bathe your babies. You must do your laundry and make meals and go shopping. Lists are a mile long. We all have them. And if you have a job outside your home, you just have more. But if, I remember this woman I knew once years ago said, she said, I have to work outside the home, but my children and my husband know that my heart is number one with them, that if I didn't have to, I would not. I would be with them.
And that's number one. How would you suggest, what are some ways that a woman can make her husband feel number one? Because again, we just said it, he needs to experience it.
Yeah, he needs to experience it. First of all, if you feel it, if he is number one, instead of I'm trying to convince him of something I don't really believe,
then
that's different.
We're trying to use a technique.
A technique. Fascinating is not about techniques. It's about timeless principles that are true.
Who you
and
are.
I think that person also asked about organization. Some people don't say do the dishes because they say, well, I want to spend time with my family. I kind of think better. I think kind of better of women than that. I think we can do that. We may have to do it at midnight at once in a while, but I think we can do it because if you timed how long it takes to do it, seriously, 10 minutes. It isn't so much a time issue. And, or if you ride out, if you have a very busy schedule and you have 3 or 4 children and what you need to do, if your husband is always number 1 and then your children are number 2 and then other things down below that, it doesn't mean that, okay, then vacuuming never gets on the list. It doesn't take that long. It just simply doesn't. And
right. And thank you so much. This was actually really helpful for me personally. So I'm hoping it's helping a lot of people who are going to be listening to this. So please like and share it and comment below and give us more ideas. Is there anything either of you would like to say more on that topic?
Guys say, when she makes me number 1, she doesn't necessarily even have to ask me because I see her working so hard. She's just busy. And I think, well, here, let me help you with those dishes. Or, hey, okay, I know you said you've got a vacuum. Why don't I help out? Because that way we can get away faster or something. When she makes me number 1, I tend to want to help out more than if she's kind of acting like, look, I've got all this work to do, and you're just sitting there watching a ball game or something. Why don't you come and get off your behind and help? It's a whole different approach, and it's amazing that I feel like, hey, I want to help her.
Well, there's one thing you can do, a simple thing, is we did a little video of it. It hasn't been edited yet, but it's on how to greet your husband when he comes home.
Oh,
that's one way you can show that he's number 1, how you greet him. And it should be like, of course, but you'd be surprised how many women really, how you greet him when he comes home, when you see him for the first time. We'll tell him that you're excited to see him. He's a sight for sore eyes, that you've been almost like you've been waiting.
Or did you forget the milk?
Yeah. Good point.
Did you remember to get that milk and bread I told you to? Or did you fill up with gas instead of,
hey, I'm so glad to see you.
I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah, I'm so glad to see you. Like my husband, when I make chocolate chip cookies, forget it. So we did a segment a little bit on baking his favorite cookies. It's a little thing. Not only makes the house smell great, but hey, hon, I'm so glad you're home. I made your favorite cookies. How cute.
It's actually easy. If you talk to everybody, all of us, let's say all of us were magically at the same time engaged, this would be a no-brainer.
Yep.
This would be a no-brainer. We think, what are you talking about? Of course he's number 1. You drive your family and friends crazy with how much you talk about him.
So true. And if I remember dating my husband too, my voice changed when I talked to him and everybody would laugh.
Yeah.
But I would just get like, oh, hi, honey. It was so weird.
And you can have that back.
I think about that too. I'm like, okay, that's when I'm in that space. That's where I want to be.
And Fascinating Womanhood can help you get that back.
You get so that true.
It's not ever meant to go away. I've had relatives say that romance is just for dating and early marriage. It's not meant to last, and I think that is not true.
Well, after spending some time with you two, I believe that, and your love is inspiring. So what I want to say to people watching this is these two are very authentic. Their love is real. Everything that they say, it's you couldn't find 2 people more in love, I don't think. So it's very inspiring. And I just
have a pretty amazing guy. So.
Well,
we've got 48 years so far.
That's amazing.
Of fun.
You guys are the greatest. Thank you so much. And everybody watching, please like and share and tell everybody about Fascinating Womanhood and share the book with people and know that we have an updated Fascinating Womanhood coming of the classic edition of Helen Andelin's book, as well as Dixie's own book, Fascinating Womanhood for the Timeless Woman.
It's a sequel.
Coming out in 2018.
Yeah, I'm working on it this afternoon again.
We're excited. All right, guys, take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.